Hi everybody, it's me, Carol from Healthcare Potholes with Christian Faith. Been offline for a little bit on and off. As you know, I've had a flood in my kitchen and family room, basement, living room. And Jester was supposed to be here on Saturday and he never showed. And finally, I got hold of people with the company, and they finally said, "Oh well, he'll be here Monday morning between 8 and 8:30." So, um, I guess he's going up and check the roof out. After the drying restoration company left and pulled all their equipment, I ended up with more water in my kitchen. So it must be definitely coming from the roof because the refrigerator has been fixed and works fine, and there is no water directly coming from the tube behind the refrigerator. I'm unable to get down to the basement to check the basement out. So you hear my dog in the background. He wants to just go out. He's upset that he's graded right now. He just finished his breakfast. Yeah, he's a late eater, so the other two, they'll eat whenever you put the food in. They don't care. But this guy seems to want to eat in the middle of the day and in the middle of the night, and it's been rough. So anyhow, I turned on Joel Osteen this morning, and I ordered a book from Joel Osteen. And 70 Ways to Heal the Body. And I thought, oh, that sounds good. So, you know, he's a minister down in Houston, Texas, and has the big compact center down there. So um, I put in a donation and ordered the book so I could read it and see what all they have to say. Because I've been very sick this past month and a half, really. I've had an ongoing kidney infection that they can't seem to get rid of, and they put me on a drug I thought would take care of it. And I was on it for 5 days, and all it could do was just eat my stomach alive. So I've gone off of it. I have a call into my doctor for an appointment on Monday afternoon, and that's what I'm going to be doing, and is having an appointment with him while I'm at the infusion room getting my bag of iron, which crashed. And I had an awful um, situation with that, and now I'm getting iron, and now I have iron Monday and Wednesday, and that should help some of my bone pains that I was having. And because I was very low, and one of my levels was high, but I think as I get the iron, it'll start to lower down the iron level that was high. So I'm just kind of kicking back and resting and not doing a lot, just doing what I have to do to get by. So anyhow, I just wanted to let you know that God is being wonderful during all this. It's Satan that's caused all the flooding in my house and mayhem and in my health. And I just have to keep turning it over to God because God is the ultimate healer. He takes care of all our problems. It might not be on our timeline, but the fact that the adjuster is finally coming out a little earlier than when he was scheduled is good. And there was a mix up in the schedule. It wasn't my fault. It was the lady that does the scheduling's fault. She booked someone in my spot where she shouldn't have. Didn't put me in like she should have. So it was all her doing. And so anyhow, that's where I'm at with everything. And it's hard to make appointments Monday through Friday with my schedule the way it is and Gary's schedule. So um, I'm just doing one day at a time. So anyhow, but I wanted to say that God is so good. He has been there through thick and thin with me, and I know He'll be there ongoing. And I just wanted to say that, you know, Jesus, when He was put into the desert for 40 days, Satan kept trying to get him to go over to him. And he kept rebuking him out of his life. And so I'm keep rebuking Satan out of my house, out of my life, out of my body, but he keeps coming back the closer I get to Jesus. And we can't let that happen. We have to keep rebuking Satan out of our life. That's a very important thing. If anything, you got to understand that God is good and he's there for us and he will provide for us and he will take care of us. I know I'm in a financial destitute way with my finances, with maybe losing my house in May and my electric bill being turned off the end of this month and my Comcast cable bill being turned off with the computer and everything that I'm trying to get an online business up and running. And I just checked now, and I've not had any sales ever from my pet supply store, allspoiledrottenpets.com. That I don't really understand, but I think it's Satan putting barriers up that people aren't buying from me. My supplies are the same supplies that they use at Chewy, PetSmart, Petco, any of those pet stores. There's only a few suppliers, and so my supplies are the same, and I have a very low mark up compared to what Chewy and Petco have. So in looking at them, I have a team that helps me and guides me on what I need to do, and I'm getting very frustrated that I haven't sold any pet supplies because that's what I was looking for. Anyhow, I just wanted to let you know I'm still looking for a job as well. I've been looking yesterday and today while I've been really sick, trying to find an at-home job that I can do because going to work at a brick and mortar store is just not an option right now. So, or doing home care, travel nursing, I'm unable to do because of my blurred vision that I get quite a bit. So anyhow, and today is one of those days. I'm having to struggle to keep my eyeballs open. So anyhow, I just wanted to let you know I'm still around. God is still good, and I prayed to him an awful lot. I got up, got my cup of coffee this morning with my Via in it, and I said, "Good morning, God. I'm glad you're going to be handling everything because I have a mess here in the kitchen, don't I?" And as you know, God handles our problems in Jesus, and I think it's rather interesting that in September I had Jesus down here and he probably saw all the boards that were apart in my floor and just shook his head in dismay and said, I got to work on that. And then all of a sudden I had all this flooding. So maybe that's how he's working on it. I don't know. But, he was a carpenter in his life, and his stepdad was a carpenter, and that's how he learned the trade of carpentry. And he used to call him Abba. And I don't know what that means, if it's a Jewish name of stepdad or if that was his name or just what it was. But in The Chosen, he talks to him about being called Abba. And I thought that was rather interesting. And so it's he was a good carpenter. And way back many years ago on TV, I watched a program about these nuns that had a problem with their staircase. And it ended up being a floating staircase, and this guy showed up, and they swear it was Jesus because the carpentry in it was just phenomenal. And they said the only one that could do that was Jesus. And I remember that very clearly, and I thought, wow, that is just so wonderful. So, anyhow, um, yeah, I had a lot of flooding in my rafters. Took quite a while to dry out my rafters in my basement and on the floor. And I wasn't so worried about the floor because it's concrete, but the rafters I was very worried about. So, anyhow, I heard a lot of creaking, and I don't know if it was the rafters settling or just what, but I'm very scared about it. So, anyhow, we'll have to see what the adjuster does on Monday when he comes. So, I'm holding out going into the hospital till I see what they do. I'm giving it a good fight. I've been on 3 antibiotics, so um, And with my kidney problems, I'm very pale, as you can tell. I'm very worried. So I'll keep trying to generate my video clips, but they might not be as often as they were at the beginning. Because I think it's important that everybody knows that Jesus loves you and is there for you and comforts you when you're having a bad day, or you've lost a child or parent or sibling or aunt, uncle, grandparent. He's there for you. He is there for you and comforting and everything. I know from when I had my experiences with losing my brother and my mom and dad, and also my grandparents, that Jesus was there. So you just have to understand that He's right there. You just need to be praying to Him, and He'll hear your prayers. I'll be getting my book probably in 2 to 3 weeks, they said, at the Joel Osteen. So I'm looking forward to getting it and starting to read it, and I'll probably be including some of it in my video clips on healing. I know they said that, I don't know if I'm going to get the one book from his mother, but his mother had cancer of the liver, and they didn't give her long to live, and they sent her home basically to die. And her son was in, I think, med school or residency, and Joel was still filming, and the father was still living, and she went into prayer, deep prayer, and God healed her, and she's still living. And they didn't think she would live because she was so full of cancer. So I'm looking forward to seeing what verses she was drawn to and that. And when I get done with the book, I think I'm going to donate it to the cancer center where I go for my infusion, so people can read it and start using it that way, and make them keep the book there as a checkout. So we'll see. But I thought that came to my mind, and I thought, well, that's God speaking to me, that people need to hear her story if they don't know her story. So, and that was Joel Osteen's mom. Um, so, anyhow, I hope everybody has a good day, and we will chat later.